show, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
has his first physical exam in 2 years. A tax battle in Congress over shipping wine across state lines, and a highway construction boom leaves Americans going nowhere fast.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. A deadly Saturday highway disaster in eastern Oregon when one after another, dozens of vehicles piled up in both lanes of Interstate 84. Sandra Hughes has more on the pileups and the death toll.
Freak weather conditions are to blame for the killer collision that has left 6 people dead and sent some 23 people to hospitals. High winds whipped up dust that covered a section of Interstate 84 so completely it was like a cloak of darkness. As many as 70 cars plowed into each other in both the east and westbound lanes. Oregon State Police Supervisor Terry O'Connell.
The interstate's completely closed in both directions. It had basically been an accordion type effect. When they came into the dusty area, they slammed on their brakes and they rear-ended one another.
Interstate 84 is the only highway cutting east-west through to Idaho. Trucks and cars are backing up with nowhere to go. The interstate could remain closed until tomorrow while police sift through the wreckage looking for more victims. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
President Clinton had his physical checkup today. The bottom line, he's in good shape. The president returned to Washington late this morning from Bethesda Naval Hospital. Doctors advised him to try to rest his often hoarse throat for 10 days. And at 214 pounds, he was also advised to lose a little weight.
His weight falls within the normal range of 190 to 220 pounds for a man of his height. It reflects an 18-pound weight gain since his exam in 1997. Physicians have recommended that the president focus again on a low-calorie diet and focus more attention also to his exercise regimen.
The top 2 Democrats fighting it out for their party's presidential nomination were in the same ring today. Members of the Democratic National Committee, meeting in Washington, heard from both men. Eric Ingberg reports this battle saw more posing than punching.
The 2 contestants for the Democratic nomination, Bill Bradley and Al Gore, today had their highest-profile duel of the campaign year so far. Each followed a script tailored to respond to criticisms they lacked the power to excite. For Bradley, the challenge was to show he's not the humorless, distant figure some see. He kept his glasses on and was folksy.
I grew up in a small town of about 3,000...
He touched the hot-button issues, gun control, civil rights, better health care, then finished with a flourish designed to put to rest the talk he's too cerebral to ignite a crowd.
The American dream is not simply for the lucky among us, not simply an ideal to wish on, but should be available for all. We're going to win and win and win. Thank you very much.
As for Gore, he's had nothing but bad news lately. Polls showing Bradley pulling even in New Hampshire, Senator Moynihan calling him a loser, criticism that he's spending too much too fast. His challenge today to show both the passion and common touch he's been accused of lacking. He experimented with the walk-around style popularized by Elizabeth Dole.
you hear me?
As for passion,
We're going to fight for every vote, from coast to coast and border to border. You better believe we're going to win it.
as he left to the sound of Shania Twain's Rock This Country, Gore's backers were relieved.
If you had any doubts about Gore being able to be interesting, entertaining, challenging, passionate, that should have put everybody's mind at ease today.
As Democrats, both combatants gave the party credit for the recent economic prosperity, promising more to come. But in a slight that will not go unnoticed at the White House, Bradley mentioned President Clinton's name only once, and Gore not at all. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
The First Family hopes to change the way it will finance the purchase of a new home in Chappaqua, New York. Sources close to the Clintons say they have dropped a plan that had Democratic fundraiser Terry McAuliffe guarantee their loan. Instead, they will use a conventional mortgager with the house itself as collateral. From personal finances to financing the government, President Clinton says Congress should work on a budget that pays for itself now that he has vetoed the big tax cut bill. But House Speaker Dennis Hastert said any proposal with minimal tax cuts and more White House spending is, quote, a fool's choice. Another battle is brewing in Congress, this one over the interstate sales of wine. It is a battle that pits vintners against distributors. And as Vince Gonzalez reports, the fallout is already affecting both wine connoisseurs and California winemakers.
It could soon get a lot harder to find that favorite bottle of wine, especially if you shop online. 31 states currently ban direct interstate shipments of alcohol to consumers. A proposed bill in Congress would give those states the power to go after retailers who sell across state lines in federal courts. Napa Valley vintners like Mike Malott say the bill, which is designed to crack down on high-tech bootleggers, will actually crush American winemakers.
It's definitely going to hurt us.
The bill is already having a chilling effect on small wineries like Malott's. He's being forced to drop many of his out-of-state customers.
We can't take the chance of sending wine there.
Chardonnay.
One of those customers is Karen Stearns of Houston, who enjoys buying her favorite vintages online.
It frustrates me that this has become an issue.
Bootlegging is bootlegging.
At the heart of the House debate, which passed the bill overwhelmingly, was the issue of minors buying alcohol over the internet.
It's protection for states and protection for parents and protection for everybody from illegal bootlegging into their own states.
Critics say the bill is really meant to protect politically powerful wholesalers and state liquor monopolies from wineries and retailers who are using the power of the internet to cut out the middlemen and sell directly to consumers.
They see themselves losing control over the distribution system.
Tom Shelton, the head of Free the Grapes, a vineyard lobbying group, says the issue of minors buying alcohol online is a smokescreen, and the bill is a bad idea.
I don't think it's good for our industry, and I don't think it's good for the consumer.
For now, winemakers can do little more than prepare for the fall harvest, which should arrive right around the time Congress is set to vote on the new bill. Vince Gonzalez, CBS News, Napa Valley, California.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, no end in sight to the misery of thousands still flooded by Floyd. Also, a new strain of encephalitis is found in mosquitoes in New York. And remapping American waterways, paddle by paddle.
Presenting the vacuum cleaner you won't believe.
I couldn't believe how much hair was picked up.
It picks up everything. It's amazing. And you don't have to have bags.
The incredible Phantom Fury vacuum. You won't believe the power. It devours dirt.
I was absolutely amazed at the power that it had.
The secret is patented dual cyclonic action driven by a 12-amp motor and no bags. Instead, an easy-to-empty bin. You won't believe the versatility. And watch this. In a snap, the handle converts to a cleaning wand.
You see a cobweb? Zap! Right now.
3 onboard attachments reach everywhere dirt is lurking. And for cleaner air, a certified HEPA filter.
I have a new toy. I love it.
The Phantom Fury.
It's incredible. That's all I can tell you. It's really incredible.
Call for a free video of the Phantom Fury in action. You have to see it to believe it. There's no obligation. Call now.
What sets some people apart gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-603-1600. That's 800-603-1600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Floodwaters are slowly receding in parts of North Carolina, leaving behind deep problems. Hospital emergency rooms are pretty busy. And to prevent a serious pollution crisis, Coast Guard boats are trying to round up tanks of hazardous material loose on the Tar River. And efforts are underway to retrieve and identify coffins unearthed from a flooded cemetery. Victims of the floods are taking their first steps in the road to recovery. But Byron Pitts tells us many are having a rough time seeing a rosy future.
This weekend, the Daniels family will try and salvage what Floyd and the floodwaters didn't take. Almost every business in downtown Tarboro took in water, and many don't expect to reopen for several months, if ever.
Once we get cleaned up, we can get back to halfway normal, and then maybe next year be a new year for us in Tarboro area.
It takes a little something out of you, but yet and still I say, if we made it before, I think God will let us make it again.
Much of downtown was under 10 feet of water for 7 days. Nancy Reams came in from Richmond, Virginia to help her sister clean up her gift shop.
Oh, devastating. I think it's a strong community, and I think they'll pull together and
do wonders, but it's going to take a lot of help, a lot of love, a lot of money, a lot of prayers to do it. It's going to be tough.
And nowhere will it be tougher than in the small town of Princeville. The Tar River that once flowed past the city of about 2,000 residents now flows through it. It may take another week before the floodwaters recede here.
Well, it's rough because when you go back in and you see your house and it's covered with water and everything that you have, you know, all the memories of everything there is just, you know, been washed away. It's hard, but with the grace of God, man, I think that's what keeps all of us sane. You know, that's what keeps all of us sane.
According to the Red Cross, the recovery here won't take weeks, it could take years. In the end, state officials estimate the damage could exceed $6 billion, making this the costliest natural disaster in North Carolina's history. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Tarboro, North Carolina.
A new strain of encephalitis never before seen in the U.S. is turning up in the Northeast. The strain, called West Nile, has been found in dead birds in New York. Officials say it is possible West Nile, and not the St. Louis strain of encephalitis, is responsible for the deaths of 3 people in New York. Elizabeth Caledon tells us whatever it is, the problem may be moving north.
This is of considerable concern to us right now.
While 3 people have died of the disease in New York, there have been no reported infections of people in Connecticut. But the state's chief investigator, Theodore Andriadis, is especially concerned about the discovery of a dead crow killed by an encephalitis-like disease.
We may have a more virulent strain of this virus because it does not normally kill birds.
I'd like to go in my garden and cut some flowers, but I'm doubtful as to whether I should go or not.
Throw yourself down once a day and listen. Now, following in New York's footsteps, Connecticut has begun an aerial assault of pesticides to control the spread of mosquitoes. As Connecticut gears up to tackle St. Louis encephalitis in its own backyard, some scientists are predicting we'll be seeing a lot more of this disease everywhere, ushered in by extreme and unpredictable weather patterns. The region's unusual summer drought, followed by heavy rains, created ideal conditions for hardy disease-carrying mosquitoes. Dr. Kathy Falvo is concerned changing weather patterns means it will be harder to know where disease will crop up.
It won't change predictably, which means we will be potentially constantly scurrying to keep things under control. And that is very distressing.
But officials in New York and Connecticut aren't worrying about next year's forecast. Right now, they're more concerned about this year's flooding left over from Hurricane Floyd, potentially bearing a whole new generation of mosquitoes. Elizabeth Caledon, CBS News, New York.
Next up on the CBS Evening News, Road to Nowhere, why rebuilding highways does not speed up traffic.
The jobs of tomorrow are here, thousands of them, waiting to be filled. But you have to know the fields they're in, and you have to have what it takes to master those fields. Because you can't get the jobs of tomorrow until you get the skills of today. Start by calling ITT Technical Institute. We'll send you an informative brochure on tomorrow's careers and what it takes to get them. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH.
You can't control Mother Nature. Experts report that weather patterns are changing fast, making it harder for anyone to say, a flood can't happen to me. In fact, in the last few years, floods have hit all 50 states. Thousands of victims learned too late that homeowners insurance doesn't cover floods, but national flood insurance does. Even weather experts can't outsmart Mother Nature. So call your insurance agent, or for free information, call this number now.
Imagine the potential impact of bad breath. Fortunately, there's Breath Remedy tongue spray with Orasan. You see, Breath Remedy isn't just a cover-up like some of those other breath sprays. Instead, Breath Remedy gets to the root of the problem by neutralizing those sulfur compounds, or VSCs, that cause bad breath. Breath Remedy. For fresh breath that lasts. Imagine that.
The Broncos battle back against the Buccaneers. Or Neil O'Donnell leads the Titans against the Jaguars' dominating defense. The NFL on CBS, the way it should be.
Anyone who traveled the nation's roads this summer knows about construction firsthand. Congress has invested billions of dollars in upgrading the interstates. But a new study concludes that even with all the fix-ups, motorists may still be left in a jam. If you've been sitting in rush hour traffic due to construction and you're thinking it will get better when the project ends, a new report may make you think again.
We found that many projects which try to relieve congestion by widening roads actually cause so much delay that the benefits are entirely wiped out for the average driver.
Case in point, the Springfield interchange in Northern Virginia, where 3 interstates and 375,000 vehicles come together every day to form what is known as the mixing bowl.
Right now, it looks like a big jumble of spaghetti.
The state of Virginia has begun an 8-year, $430 million project building new lanes, bridges, and ramps, hoping to turn the mixing bowl into a smooth interstate passageway. In the meantime, drivers can expect to go nowhere fast.
When they're done, people will save 30 seconds each way, a minute a day. Well, the fact is they're losing 15 minutes a day now, and so if time savings is what you're trying to achieve, it's just not a good payoff.
Not true. The report is very irresponsible and misses the point. This interchange project is about safety.
Transportation officials claim the mixing bowl is so unsafe that on average, 3 accidents a day occur here, and that population growth in the 30 years since the roads were first built has outstripped the capacity of the system. Something had to be done.
When we complete the project, it's going to be much safer and easier to navigate.
Well, that's a lot of roads.
Visitors to the information center on the interchange project seemed philosophical on the prospect of spending more time in their cars.
It bothers me, but I just feel if it's going to be good in the long run, it's got to be worth it because it's only going to get worse there.
And when you have to commute, you have to commute.
Improving commuting time and travel speed is the reason given for the expansion of Interstate 24 in Nashville from 4 lanes to 8. The Surface Transportation Project Study says the $22 million project on 8 miles of road will only save commuters 7 minutes a day when it's completed. In Salt Lake City, the study says that $1.6 billion being spent to widen I-15 in time for the Winter Olympics will also save drivers just 7 minutes after 4 years of traffic delays.
The highway engineers aren't used to looking at the experience of the average motorist. They're trying to move more cars. They're not trying to get you to work any faster. They're just trying to have more people go to work with you every day.
In Utah, officials hope to open an I-15 on-ramp this weekend, but relief will only be brief. In about a week, another on-ramp will be closed for 18 months for more reconstruction. The U.S. Geological Survey is apologizing to residents of the Puget Sound area in Washington. The Seattle Times reports that earlier this week, the residents were shocked by an apparent earthquake. In fact, the USGS was blasting to test how sound travels underground.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Nothing brings back warm holiday memories like the songs and carols you love. And only Time Life's Treasury of Christmas brings you all your favorite holiday songs in one collection.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Silver bells,
Silver bells,
silver bells.
chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Silent night.
Treasury of Christmas is filled with the most popular holiday hits. 50 timeless classics on 2 cassettes for just $19.99 or 2 CDs for just $26.99.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Jingle bells.
You'll get cherished holiday songs like Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Dreaming of a white Christmas.
Every song fills your home with holiday magic.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, riding down Santa Claus Lane. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday.
Treasury of Christmas, the perfect way to celebrate your holiday season. On 2 cassettes for $19.99 or 2 CDs for $26.99. So call now and have yourself a Merry Christmas.
To order Treasury of Christmas, call 1-800-760-6611. That's 1-800-760-6611. Or send $19.99 for 2 cassettes plus $3.99 shipping and handling, or $26.99 for 2 CDs plus $4.99 shipping and handling to Treasury of Christmas, Department 4, Richmond, Virginia 23280.
What are the chances of a government shutdown or a tax cut compromise? House Speaker Dennis Hastert and Minority Leader Richard Gephardt plus William Bennett on Pat Buchanan face the nation Sunday.
Russian warplanes pounded key targets in breakaway Chechnya for a third straight day. The attacks ignited more explosions at Chechnya's main oil refinery and damaged the television station. Russia says it is trying to prevent Chechnya-based Islamic rebels from entering neighboring Dagestan. A confrontation today in East Timor when Australian members of the UN peacekeeping force stopped a truck carrying departing Indonesian soldiers. The peacekeepers removed and detained several men from the truck, accused of being anti-independence militia members. The mission in East Timor gives new urgency to the debate over UN peacekeeping authority. And Cheryl Atkinson tells us the pressure is growing on the U.S. to pay back dues.
East Timor, Haiti, Rwanda, and Somalia. Far-flung places where grotesque abuses of human rights galvanized the United Nations into action. U.S. troops often take the lead in rescue missions to scores of troubled countries. But now, because it owes some $1 billion in back dues, the U.S. may lose influence and leadership in the international peacekeeping organization.
That's a major loss of influence and of policy ability on the world stage.
Public service ads have begun running, encouraging Congress to pay up, insisting American credibility is at stake.
Pay our bills and keep a place for peace.
And the public seems to agree. Recent polls show Americans overwhelmingly support helping people in crisis. 75% said U.S. troops should take part in UN peacekeeping forces, no matter what the cost. The U.S. also tested the patience of the UN by spearheading the NATO air campaign against Kosovo. This prompted a thinly veiled criticism from the Secretary General, who wants the United Nations to be at the forefront of peacekeeping missions, not regional military alliances like NATO. At the root of these crucial issues lies the most basic question the United Nations faces. Just when does the need to stop human suffering outweigh the right of a country to handle its own affairs? And who makes that call? By holding back millions of dollars of needed UN funds, the United States risks losing its powerful influence on the outcome of that debate. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, up a creek with a paddle. An old transportation route is flowing again.
Thanks, Shirley. You know, Tony, I've been thinking about life insurance again. We pay more for this coffee than we would for extra coverage.
She's right. You know, you can get good life insurance for 39 cents a day.
Probably from someone I never heard of.
Mutual of Omaha. United of Omaha, one of the Mutual of Omaha companies, has a plan where your payments never go up and your benefits never go down.
Good company. But I bet you still have to take a physical.
No. And before you ask, you won't be turned down and your coverage can't be canceled.
How much? And don't talk to me in units.
No units. With this, you know what you're getting. Up to $20,000 worth of coverage.
What, do you work for him, Cheryl?
Actually, we bought the plan before Harry passed away. My husband had this great gift for always listening to me.
Smart guy, huh, Tony?
Call 1-800-428-0400 for your free information. That's 1-800-428-0400. Call now, 1-800-428-0400.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the Sunday New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And when you call now, you'll get 50% off the regular home delivery price.
I enjoy waking up and having the Sunday New York Times waiting for me. I know it'll tell me things that I won't hear, read, or see anywhere else.
I get international and cultural news, and I get a jump on the week ahead.
Call now to order, and you'll get the book review, travel, arts and leisure, week in review, and the New York Times Magazine.
On Sunday mornings, we catch up on what we really love. She goes straight for arts and leisure. I check out the magazine.
So call now to enjoy the Sunday New York Times for 8 weeks with home delivery at 50% off.
Hi, I'd like to start getting the Sunday New York Times at home.
I think the only thing I enjoy more than doing the crossword puzzle is actually finishing it.
Call now, 1-800-720-8300, and get the Sunday New York Times delivered to your home every weekend.
For me, Sunday was made for the New York Times.
If all that talk about a growing hole in the Earth's ozone layer puts you to sleep, think about this.
Even a 1% change in UV can have
rather a significant increase in skin cancers.
You heard the man, cancer. Monday, the ozone's newest enemy and what it may mean for your health on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Finally this evening, finding ancient pathways can light a way into the future, which is why one Appalachian explorer has devoted his life to finding the age-old waterways that built America. Don Stenson reports in his voyage of discovery.
There's little mystery about why canoe travel is so peaceful and relaxing. The quiet of the old North woods, the rhythmic zen of a perfect J stroke. It's what has drawn Mike Krepner to the water's edge for more than 30 years.
I think I'd go pretty much anywhere that a canoe would allow me to go.
With his bandana and Birkenstocks, Krepner looks right out of Central Casting as the backwoods hippie who never grew up. And he'd be the first to agree. But Krepner is also a top-notch canoeist and history buff who, along with two friends, has created what they call the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, a 750-mile water route running all the way from western New York up to the northern tip of Maine, all of it ancient tribal canoe routes.
The Northern Forest Canoe Trail is kind of, we'll call it a celebration, in a way, of the waterways being the old interstates of years past. This is the way most of the people got around, really, until the railroads came in, which was not that long ago here.
It has taken Krepner more than a decade to retrace the routes. Some disappeared as the landscape changed. Others were buried under dense forest. He has used a machete as often as a paddle and has had to carry his 70-pound canoe for more miles than he'd like to remember.
We call it a recreational, educational canoe trail. It's rather Frankensteinian. We use the word. We stitched it together out of parts, but they are all old routes that are documentable back into prehistoric times, essentially.
Now that the hard work is done, Krepner is out spreading the gospel.
This is the tail end of a trail that starts in New York. Okay. And it's all about the history of the area. There's been a big groundswell of people that are interested in what's being called heritage tourism, as opposed to purely recreational tourism. In other words, they want to go to some place and learn something, come away with a sense of the history of it or a feeling of the culture.
The canoe trail is often described as a waterborne Appalachian trail. And like the AT, people wanting to run the canoe trail end to end will need a lot of skill and time, at least 2 months. But Krepner hopes that weekend paddlers will come to enjoy the trail in small sections.
Up and down culverts and drainage ditches and down beautiful rivers and not so beautiful rivers. It's the water. Where the water goes, I'll follow.
Krepner's quiet journeys to the past are frequently interrupted by intruders from the modern world. But he seems oblivious. Like Old Man River, he'll just keep paddling along. Dawn Stensland, CBS News, New York.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Tomorrow on Sunday morning, the author of the best-selling Harry Potter books. Then on Face the Nation, the tax debate. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News, New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Her books are for children, so how'd 3 of them wind up on the adult bestseller list? On the Fast Track with children's author J.K. Rowling. Join Charles Osgood this Sunday morning.
Experience you can trust. CBS News.